The atmosphere crackled with tension as the studio lights illuminated the stage, casting a sharp glow over the panel of commentators seated around the semicircular desk. It was supposed to be a routine debate, another segment in the relentless cycle of live television, but the air in the room suggested otherwise. The subject matter was incendiary, a divisive political scandal that had the nation gripped. Isabel Oakeshott, a journalist known for her fiery demeanor and unapologetically strong opinions, was at the center of the storm. Clad in a tailored blazer, she exuded confidence, her sharp gaze darting between her fellow panelists as the program began. From the moment the host introduced the topic, the discussion ignited like a spark to dry tinder. The panelists took their turns presenting arguments, but it quickly became clear that the real battle was between Oakeshott and a prominent political analyst seated to her left. Their voices clashed like swords, each interruption more heated than the last. The tension escalated with every passing second, drawing viewers in as the spectacle unfolded live. Oakeshott, never one to back down, leaned forward as she delivered her rebuttals, her voice cutting through the air like a knife. The analyst, equally passionate, responded with matching fervor, challenging her points with a mixture of frustration and disdain. The host attempted to maintain order, his voice rising in a futile effort to restore decorum. "Let's keep it civil," he implored, though his plea was drowned out by the escalating cacophony. The moment that would make headlines arrived without warning. Oakeshott's opponent made a particularly pointed remark, questioning her journalistic integrity and accusing her of sensationalism. Her eyes narrowed, her lips pressed into a thin line before she fired back with equal venom, her words dripping with indignation. "That's rich coming from someone whose career is built on half-truths and political spin," she shot back, her voice resonating with controlled fury. The tension in the room reached a boiling point. The analyst's face flushed with anger as he attempted to retort, but Oakeshott wasn't finished. She stood abruptly, her chair scraping against the floor, and leaned on the desk, her presence dominating the space. Her voice rose, each word charged with emotion. "The public deserves the truth, not carefully crafted narratives designed to protect your interests." Gasps rippled through the studio. The host, visibly flustered, tried to intervene. "Isabel, please," he began, but she turned her attention to him, her glare silencing his attempt to regain control. "No, let's talk about the real issue here," she continued, addressing the camera directly. "The people watching at home aren't fooled by this charade." At this point, the tension spilled over into chaos. The analyst, unable to contain his outrage, stood as well, his voice rising to match hers. Their heated exchange became a shouting match, the words overlapping, their faces inches apart as they argued. The studio staff, sensing the situation spiraling out of control, began to murmur nervously behind the scenes. The host's attempts to mediate were futile, his voice drowned out by the verbal clash. Viewers across the country watched in shock, glued to their screens as the live scene unfolded. Social media exploded with reactions, hashtags trending within minutes as people shared their disbelief and opinions. Some defended Oakeshott's passionate stance, while others criticized her for crossing a line. The debate quickly transcended the studio, becoming a national conversation. As the argument reached its peak, a producer's voice crackled through the studio's earpieces, urging the host to cut to a commercial break. But before he could, the unthinkable happened. Oakeshott, in a final act of defiance, pointed an accusatory finger at her opponent and declared, "You're part of the problem, and the people deserve better." Her voice echoed in the stunned silence that followed, the other panelists frozen in their seats. The host finally managed to interject. "We need to take a break," he announced, his tone strained. But the drama didn't end there. As the cameras began to cut away, Oakeshott turned to leave the stage, her movements purposeful and unyielding. A staff member approached her, gesturing for her to remain, but she brushed past them, her expression set in determination. Back on air after the break, the panel was noticeably missing one member. The host addressed the situation with a rehearsed calmness, explaining that Oakeshott had been asked to leave the studio following the incident. His words did little to quell the storm brewing online. The hashtag number Oakeshott Ejected trended globally, with clips of the altercation circulating widely. In the hours that followed, statements were issued by the network, Oakeshott, and her opponent. The network emphasized its commitment to respectful discourse, apologizing to viewers for the unexpected turn of events. Oakeshott, however, stood by her actions, releasing a statement that reiterated her belief in the importance of speaking truth to power. "I will not be silenced," she wrote. "The stakes are too high to prioritize decorum over honesty." Her opponent's response was equally pointed, accusing Oakeshott of using theatrics to distract from substantive debate. "It's unfortunate that what should have been a constructive discussion devolved into personal attacks and grandstanding," he stated. The fallout from the incident was swift and far-reaching. Pundits debated the implications of the clash, analyzing every word and gesture. Was Oakeshott a crusader for truth, or had she undermined her credibility with her dramatic exit? Opinions were sharply divided, reflecting the polarized nature of the original debate. Meanwhile, Oakeshott's supporters rallied around her, praising her for standing her ground and refusing to be intimidated. Her detractors, on the other hand, accused her of exploiting the platform for personal gain, calling her actions unprofessional and disruptive. The incident reignited discussions about the role of journalists in public discourse, the fine line between passion and professionalism, and the challenges of maintaining civility in a polarized media landscape. For days, the story dominated headlines, overshadowing other news. Oakeshott became a trending topic not just in the UK but globally, with international outlets picking up the story. Editorials dissected the event from every angle, while talk shows invited experts to weigh in on what it meant for the future of live television and political debate. In the midst of the chaos, Oakeshott herself remained unrepentant. In a series of interviews, she doubled down on her stance, framing the incident as a necessary moment of reckoning. "I refuse to apologize for caring deeply about the truth," she declared during a primetime appearance. Her words resonated with many, though they did little to mend the rift with her detractors. The incident also sparked broader conversations about the nature of televised debates. Critics argued that the format itself was to blame, designed more for entertainment and ratings than meaningful dialogue. Others pointed to the pressures faced by journalists and commentators, forced to navigate contentious topics in real time under the unrelenting gaze of the public. As the dust began to settle, the long-term impact of the clash remained uncertain. Oakeshott's career trajectory took an unexpected turn, with offers pouring in from platforms eager to capitalize on her newfound notoriety. At the same time, the incident raised questions about the boundaries of on-air behavior and the responsibilities of those in the public eye. For viewers, the shocking live scene was a reminder of the unpredictable nature of live television. It was a moment that blurred the lines between news and drama, leaving an indelible mark on the media landscape. And for Isabel Oakeshott, it was a defining chapter in her career, one that would shape her legacy for years to come.